Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Randy 97402 has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Nick La Venice has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Mats Lindmark has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Isaiah Robley has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Jonathan Niels has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Raya Malemd has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Sunny XYZ has just boarded the plane.
Right. He's all ready to go. Just get that. Don't need that. Okay. Yeah, we're all good. Where's the book? There it is. Okay. Right, let's start, shall we? I'm all set. Ba-boom. There we go. Hello everyone, welcome into another Fighting Fantasy Adventure Week. My name is Adam, and today we are reading Secrets of Salamonis. So, we're going to be starting soon. Continuation from a couple of weeks ago where we played through Shadow of the Giants. These two books were released together, I believe in like 2022, I think, 2023, something like that. 2022, it says. And this, of course, is written by Steve Jackson and, I believe, co-authored by Jonathan Green, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might have been, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't actually have his credit in here. Illustrations were done by Tazio Benton. And the illustrations go back to the line art drawings, you know, of the classic Fighting Fantasy adventures. So that's pretty cool. And the artwork on the cover is like, I've played through this book like 3 or 4 times and I've never come across that creature ever. I don't know if he's legitly in the book or not, but you know, who knows. So yeah, this is a bit of a beast of a book. It's got more than 400 entries, which is why I think Jonathan Green helped him out, because his books are known to be longer than 400 paragraphs. But this one's pretty interesting because it's almost like you have a career. It's almost like you live a life. It's like Skyrim, effectively. Look at that artwork there. Of course, it is Fighting Fantasy weekend. There are a lot of people at the Fighting Fantasy Expo. Jonathan Green, in Livingston, Steve Jackson, I believe, are all in attendance. I also believe that the Hammerforge Chronicles guys are also there. And they're bringing out their new book, Tentacles of the Void, later this year. This is the playtest copy, which I've been reading, and it is super interesting. So much different than their previous Necromancer book. This is a complete 180, 360, whatever you want to say, turnaround. So, yeah, that will be coming out later this year. And, of course, we will be playing through it when it does come out. And in the next couple of months, we will be interviewing the 2 Jameses with the lead up to the release of that book. So that will be pretty cool as well. Once I actually ask them and organize it. I haven't even asked them yet, but yeah, I know they'll be up for it. So yeah, today's meals are sponsored by Custard Creams. I thought, let's go for something different today. So we're going with the Custard Creams. Now, if you wanted to buy this book, if you haven't yet got it, you can still buy it in shops. This is still available in like Waterstones, bookshops, your local, whatever it is. But on eBay, it goes for like a £5. So it's pretty inexpensive. I bought mine, I believe, for £8 off Amazon when it first came out. In fact, I got a couple of copies because I gave 2, like this one and Shadow of the Giants. I gave them away in a giveaway once, which was a bit of a burn because they said they never received them. So, and I think I sent out another copy as well, I believe, which never arrived either. So, I don't know what happened there. But yeah. Hey, Rhymster's in the house. How's it going? G'day, mates. You need to buy this book? You haven't got it yet? Wow, mate, come on. This is right up there. And I hear Ian Livingston's working on another book as well, I hear. So that'll be coming out as well. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but there is another book coming. And of course, after this book, we will be playing Blood on Dungeon Island in 2 weeks' time. Which, what is the date in 2 weeks? We are talking the 14th of June. Let me make sure I ain't doing anything on the 14th of June. 14th of June is A-OK. All clear, Captain. So yeah, so that's that. What has everybody been up to? What you been up to, Rhymester? I'm looking forward to playing this book, to be honest, and I'm looking forward. I always look forward to today, like Fighting Fantasy Day. I really do. Hey, Elrose is in the house. Good morning. I'm trying to think. What was I going to say? I can't remember now. I'm not going to light any incense. Man, do you know what? It has been sweltering hot the last week. We have had a roaster of a day. Like 2 or 3 days ago, it was melting. Right now, it's 16 degrees, so it ain't that hot here in Liverpool, but it looks like it will get hotter later on. A high of 18, but yesterday was like 22. The day before that, 24, and then we had a 30 as well not so long ago. Thought I was watching an old stream then. Have we done this one before? Yeah, I think we've played through this once or twice before. We definitely played through it when it first got released in 2022, but I think we've done it once again since then. I don't think we've ever completed it, though. So, you've been watching Little Bigfoot, mate. Mate, you serious? You've been watching Little Bigfoot, mate. There it is. That's the film. I have watched this film, mate, and oh my gosh, it is hilariously funny. Not meant to be. It's meant to be like Harry and the Hendersons meets E.T. It is so clearly like they're ripping off those films, but it's, you get what you pay for at the end of the day. You can't afford Steven Spielberg director, then you hire, you know, what's his name? Art Comancio, right? You can't afford David Koepp, the screenwriter of Jurassic Park, then you hire whoever wrote this piece of shit. Right? You can't afford Rick Baker with his awesome Harry and Henderson's costume, then you get a cheapo-ass version. Now, I will say, the costume of Little Bigfoot isn't actually that bad. It's actually really good. It's got as much articulation as Harry in Harry and Henderson's. It's like, but it's very, it looks very cheaply made. But I'm not going to spoil it because I will do a review on this, but every decision made in this film was just not the right one for the best of the movie. It is basically a TV movie is what it is. It was made for less than $1 million, and it shows. Production value, like, it's an interesting watch, don't get me wrong. It's not like a really shit film. It's just you can definitely tell there were instances in the story where they went, oh, actually, we need our characters to do this, so we have to invent a reason. Okay, quick, invent a reason. And it's like, well, but the people wouldn't really behave like that. It's honestly, this is such a shoddy film. And it had a sequel as well. It had a bloody sequel. I haven't seen this yet, but I will be reviewing both of those when I watch that film. Honestly, it's actually got a soundtrack score that sounds like they were trying to be John Williams, but, you know, it's just it's so low budget. It really is. Reminds me of Swallows and Amazons. Well, that was an Amazon film, I believe. That was actually better made. Probably a bit more of a budget applied, but this Little Bigfoot came out the year Titanic was released in 1997. So it had a lot of competition, and it wasn't made for cinema. It was shot on film, but it was not made for cinema. The quality of the picture is actually pretty good, but it's in full frame, even though it bloody says widescreen on the back. Somewhere, I'm sure it did. Okay, it doesn't. It says full screen presentation. Yeah, it's a TV movie at the end of the day. But I think it's shot in an open matte Academy ratio, so you could zoom in to create a widescreen and it'd still be all right. Wasn't it Russian? No, it wasn't Russian. In fact, there is a cover there's an alternate cover to this where for some reason they're in the snow, and that's the Polish version. It's the same movie, but it's just got a different cover, and it looks really weird, the cover. But this is the original. I got this for 15 quid, right? Somebody in Australia sent me this. 15 quid. Man, that goes for like 60 to 100 quid on eBay, because I don't think anybody bloody bought it. You know what I mean? Oh, you mean Swallows and Amazons was cold? I don't know. I've seen that film once, and I can't remember much about it, to be honest. But that film is hilarious. If you're smoking weed when you watch this, man, you're gonna have a great time. But obviously, I wasn't smoking weed when I watched it because I don't smoke weed. But I still actually enjoyed it, but it was a bit lengthy. It's only, what, 96 minutes long, but it feels 3 times that because of the, weak story that it has, honestly. It is actually a really entertaining watch because of how bad it is, And it actually has got one actor that I recognized, but I can't remember where I saw him. I can't remember what film I've seen him in. But the rest of them are just TV actors. And you get what you pay for at the end of the day. If you pay peanuts, you'll get monkeys. And they clearly got monkeys making that film. The sequel is going to be even shitter, I feel. But hey-ho, that's a future review. And somebody also, when I did a live stream yesterday, got me onto a film called Trolls 2 from 1990 that I also, What if you pay monkeys? If you pay monkeys, well, you're paying surely them in bananas or peanuts. So, I mean, maybe you might get them to pilot an aircraft to space for you if you feed them a banana, like they did in Planet of the Apes. But, I don't know. Anyway, how is everybody doing today? I was actually a bit concerned that nobody was going to show up and I would have to read this book by myself. Have you seen the movie Freaks from 1932? Bit was banned when it came. I've not seen that film, sorry, no. There was a film in the 80s or in the 90s called Freaks with Alex Winter in it, but I've not seen that one either. I haven't watched any film with Freaks in the title, to be honest. So, and I tell you what I have been doing, which now it seems to have disappeared. I was working on my top 20 films of all time, which is really hard to do. And I did it. I've got my top 20 films here, so I might do a video on this. Because I do believe I actually own all these films as well. So I might do a top 20 breakdown of my favorite films. Which it might be surprising because it kind of surprised me. And it's hard to do a top 20 of films when you've seen so many and you love so many for different reasons. It is really hard. I will tell you the number 1 is Jurassic Park. Hey, I'll tell you what I got sent, guys. I mean, I'm not meant to. I'm not allowed to, but they're not going to watch. I seriously doubt. But I got sent a little gift parcel in the post because I don't know if it's because of the videos I've been making or not. I don't know. But somebody reached out to me through email to say thank you for what you've said in a video. And we're going to send you a gift. And they have my address because I'm signed up on Patreon with them. And, you have your address on that account. So they sent me out this. Now, the thing is, they live in America. This came from Mumbai, which isn't that in India? Bit weird. I'll show you what it is. They did actually say, don't say to anybody that we sent it you because we don't normally do this. But again, they're not going to watch this. It's basically, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. It is Titanic related, by the way. I don't know if you'll see this, but it's basically the blueprints to the Titanic on a canvas. This is a canvas, like you would have oil paintings on. And this is massive. I'm not going to open it all, but it's basically like 6 feet tall. And it's got every deck plan of the Titanic on it. It's mental. It's absolutely huge. And yeah, like really appreciate it, but I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it. It's too big to put anywhere, to be honest. Like, I don't even know if they do frames this size. And the printing quality isn't exactly high grade. Like, the finer details you can't read. But, like, wow. I mean, I was so, like, you know, it got FedExed over to me. Not by Tom Hanks or Wilson. But I was like, wow. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, to be honest. And now I can't get it back in the bloody case thing, so... They're always watching. Yeah, probably. It had the first real bearded woman and the pinheads. Oh, this was like an actual circus freak film. Right. Oh, do you know? I think I know. I've heard of that film, actually. I used to listen to... When Ricky Gervais did a radio show on XFM... back in 2000 when he was making The Office. That's where he met his writing partner, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington, who Carl talks about a film called Freaks or something, and it's got loads of freaky people in it. I have heard of it, actually. I don't know if it's the same film we're talking about, but I have heard of it. Freaks is the real version of The Greatest Showman. Yeah, real life from what I hear. I mean... To be honest, you can find bearded women all over the shop. They're usually over the age of 60, you know, with the HRT stuff. But it's not that hard to find bearded women these days, I find. That's not freaky enough anymore. I'm sorry, that's just the norm. Empire's in the house. Here he is, Captain Pirate himself. How are you, Empire? I've heard that you had PC problems. How are you? I hope you resolved your issues. I think you have, because you were streaming yesterday and the day before, so... There's loads where you live. Where do you live, Elrose? In Beardy Town, probably. You're writing your top 20 now. Is that the films? Timer, set, go. So yeah, we're going to start playing through this soon. We're sitting in a swamp at the moment. I needed some audio playing. I really... I've got to find some copyright-free music to play as an intro, because when I play my usual, what I do play, somebody claims it as their own, even though it's not theirs, and I say this is not the same, you know, to YouTube, but they still persist and say yes it is, and it's like, no, it's not. It sounds nothing like it, and yet YouTube just still allow the copyright. So I'm like, okay, I can't use that piece of audio now. So I do need to find some... I need to make a little bit of music for when the countdown is happening, because it's just silence otherwise, and it's just a bit boring, you know. I like a little bit of sound, you know, hence why crickets are playing, you know. Freaks was banned because they use people with real disabilities. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't subscribe to that. If you're what's classed as a freak, right? Bearded woman, you know, dude with 3 legs, like whatever else it could be, that's not a disability, I'm afraid. That is an ability. You have more than what other people have. That's a superpower. You're like an X-Man. You're one of the X-Men. You wouldn't call them freaks with disabilities. I mean, Cyclops can't look at anybody without blasting them with red rays. Wolverine has metal claws. They're not disabilities. They're abilities. And freaks are exactly the same. You know, bearded woman. I mean, I'd shave, I would, to be honest. But it might be a bit of a ball ache shaving every single day. Like, I'm definitely not a woman, am I? Yeah, I'm definitely a man. But, like, I don't class them... I don't like to say the word disability. Like, I'm epileptic, but I don't class myself as disabled. I never have. I don't like the word disability, so I don't like to use it. Sorry. Make your own music. You could borrow my spoons. I mean, I could make my own music. I've got... all my instruments have disappeared. What the hell? I have a recorder. I have a flute. I have a harmonica. And they've all fucking gone. Weird. No, that's not a harmonica. I don't know where they've gone. They've all disappeared. But I could make my own music, I suppose. I also have a keyboard. So I suppose I could just put something together. Just, you know. Sounds like the Amazon series The Boys. Billy Butcher style. Somebody said I look like Billy Butcher. I'll have to get a leather coat or something. I haven't seen that last series yet. I need to watch it. I have got them all sitting on the PC ready to watch, but you know. Pinheads was a disability. Kids born different after the wars. Magneto, he was born before the war, actually. What am I saying? Anyway. Enough of this bullshit talk. Are we going to be big dice today, or are we going to be little dice today? Do you know what? There is so much in this book. Look at the adventure sheet. It is packed out. There is so much to keep track of in this book. Look at that. You've got days of the week to keep track of. Special skills. Aminor. Whatever the hell Aminor is. It's a grade of your fame and fortune. Like notoriety, basically. Obviously, you got the usual skill, stamina, luck, meals, money, and equipment. But you've got to keep track of the day of the week. You don't start with any meals, by the way, guys. You actually start with nothing. It says Aminor is a term used in Salamonis and other settlements in the Yale of Willow to signify a person's fame and fortune. Many people consider a high Aminor to be more valuable than gold and swear by it as an indication of genuine honesty. Aminor can be increased by performing daring feats of heroism, but can be decreased by behaving in a dishonorable way. At the start of this, you basically have no reputation, so it's at 0, and it can never go lower than 0. Little big dice. Little big dice, man. Leather coats are for bearded ladies. Billy Butcher must be a bearded lady. I remember one time I think I had a leather coat on or something, or a black jacket on, and I had a group of people coming up to me like, "You look like Billy Butcher, mate." Yeah. I'm glad I don't have his problems, to be honest. At least I haven't got a superhuman on my ass. You know? That wouldn't be fun. Like, seriously, guys, which one are we going to be, little or big? What's going to be our pleasure today, guys? Is it the casino dice? Doesn't move. Robert De Niro blows on the dice in the film Casino and it spins on the spot. I can't get that to work. Or we got the Games Workshop with the skull as the one. Steaming up. My glasses are going to be steaming. You like the little ones. Right, we are little dice today, guys. Let's roll for our character. You don't get any potions. There's none of that shit. Just normal everything. Here we go. What is going to be our skill? 6! Dudes, we've got a skill of 12. Boom! Homelander. That's who we are. Fucking hell. Well done, Elrose, for choosing little dice, innit? Little for a change, man. This is yeah, let's see here. Stamina. Can we do it again with the 6s? No. 7. We got a 7 on that. So 7 plus 12 is 19. It's not too bad. It could have been better, but it could have been worse. So I think 19 is just average, you know. And then for our luck, 2. That is a luck of 8. Again, an average score. Refresh your screens, guys, because if you fall behind, it ain't fun. Oh, guys, has anybody seen the series Below Deck? I've been play testing a game for a developer called Ships at Sea, and it's really fun. But it got me wanting to watch a series that I heard about through another series called Traders, where one of the celebrities was from this TV show called Below Deck. It's all set on a yacht, and it's like a reality show. It's like Hell's Kitchen, or I don't know, Kitchen Nightmares. It's like they follow a yacht and their team around, and some of the clients that charter this vessel, honestly, are there was people doing coke on the first episode. Captain sent them packing. Didn't even tell them. Just said, let's go back and we'll kick them off, you know. And then there's like proper knobheads, but the whole crew themselves are just doing their best. It's really interesting. It's been out since 2013, and I've only just started watching it. There's like 5 spin-offs. Each one of these spin-offs has multiple seasons. I've got about 3 years of content here. I've never actually seen it before. This is the first time, and I'm loving it. I'm actually loving it, man. The first captain, Captain Lee, who looks like Captain Birdseye, he would be played by Billy Bob Thornton in the movie. He is so Billy Bob Thornton. He's like Landman on a ship, you know? Rich people. Is it scripted? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I don't know the production company that put it all together. But obviously, you know, entities, people, companies hire this yacht out with the full crew. And I think the producers have definitely pushed very particular customers their way to get, you know, juicy footage of stuff. And they've put together, like, I don't know if they've had a hand in choosing the crew for the boat, but they've put together the biggest mongs that you would ever use for this professional company. Like, the only decent staff member is the chef. He's British. His name is Ben. You know, he's got an accent like, you know, sitting with a martini. You know, I cook for the rich. You know, and he's so funny. He honestly looks like Robert Downey Jr. in his younger years, and he's the only decent crew member. Captain Lee, he's a bit of a show off. Yeah, this is my vessel. Yeah, go big or go home. He likes to showboat. But the crew are just a bunch of degenerates. Honestly, they're all complete fuck-ups. And, I mean, they're all nice. They're not evil or anything like that. No one's proper. But you've got one dude who's got a girlfriend, and he's like, yeah, but we're in an open relationship, so I'm going to be chasing tail on this boat. It's like, you know. And you've got another one who loves to party, who loves to drink. You've got a really smart one who worked with NASA, who, unfortunately, is the lowly of the crew, and her boss is a bit of a stick-up-the-ass kind of like, you know, doesn't know what she's doing, really. But it's really fun and entertaining. Did they go to Mongolia? Yeah, they went to Mongolia to pick the, you know... The original cast are all producers now, are they not? Man, you seem to know a lot about it for somebody who didn't know anything about it. I don't know. I've never seen the show or heard about it, so... I don't know what the score is. They're a good little Aussie girl on one of the... Yeah, there's like a Down Under version. There's a Mediterranean version. There's one called Adventure. I don't know what the hell that is. And then there's a sailing yacht version. And then you've got the normal TV show. It's like, I don't know how I bypassed this, but to be honest, I'm loving just seeing the boat, to be honest. Like, the yacht is like a super yacht, you know? It's one of these 3-tier massive things, and it's like hundreds of thousands of pounds to rent it out for like 3 days or so. It's, you know, Captain Glenn is funny. No, I don't know who he is. Adrian, yeah. I think you're behind, Elrose. I think you need to refresh your stream. You're very far behind. You're talking about things we've chatted about 5 minutes ago. Anyway, we've got our stats, guys. Shall we begin? Mouse dry. That's the last of the coffee now. It's it. I'm wide awake. Some fights happen on the boats? No way. Hey, you can't piss about out at sea. It's like the army. Being on a boat is like the army. There, you know, you follow orders or you off. No HR on the boat, and Adrian was too busy Skyping the guests to do her job. So you have watched it, Elrose. What is this? Oh, well. Is it scripted? You know more than me, I bet. Are you? Is this scripted? Hang on, I feel like this could be scripted. Right, you guys know what to do to start it off, by the way. We haven't actually got that much of an intro to read. It's like a page and a half. So, who has played or who has this book? You know, I'm getting the feeling that it's only you two who have showed up to this bloody meetup. Where's Spellsinger? Where's Jeffy? I mean, it is actually Fighting Fantasy Expo, so some of these people might have jetted off to that. We're missing a few regs here, aren't we? It's not a special day anywhere, is it? It's not like Mother's Day or anything. I mean, that's already happened, like. I don't know. You guys know what to do. While we wait, we will just read a passage from the Bible. Today's thought of the day comes from Luke, the book of Luke. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from... there's too many words I can't read in that sentence. Let's find something else. Come on, Luke. This is the gospel according to Luke. Right. Here we go. And she spake out with a loud voice and said, Blessed art thou, that's an Elvis song, among women, and blessed is the fruit of my womb. Ironic. And whence is this to me, that the mother of my Lord shall come to me? Bit of a rhyme, that. There we go, just a random. I hope that's done something for you guys. I think we're going to have a non-starter here, guys. I know you both have already put it further up in the chat, but just throw it in again. Like, I mean, I suppose. I don't know. And refresh your streams, because I think you're behind. If you're still there, like. Thank you, Rybster. Just got to make sure everyone's awake before we start. That's all. That's all that is. You know? It's a little tool to help me make sure that, okay, somebody will make a decision. So, what do we do with it? Stick it? The voice is deep, gruff, and menacing, and no doubt belongs to a large creature of some kind, a language user, so possessed of some intelligence, but probably none too friendly by the sounds of it. Instinct warns you to avoid whoever or whatever has started this conversation. Although the light is dim, your eyes soon become accustomed to the darkness. That sounds like Creature of Havoc. That does. You are in a large cavern lit only by the soft light from glowstones. An unpleasant smell hangs in the air. It is the smell of decaying food. The entrance lies a short distance away, but to reach it, you will doubtless have to face the creature that calls the cave home. It is then that you notice a roughly made door, wooden, in the wall of the cave to your right. Hungry, comes a second voice. Eat! That is not what you wanted to hear. What's more, there are at least 2 creatures in this cave with you. However, the second voice sounded a little softer and not as fearsome as the first. The creatures do not appear to be aware that you are awake, and that's the way you would like it to stay. But you are curious to know what you're dealing with. Your wrists and ankles have not been bound, so you get to your feet and tiptoe quietly around the edge of the cave. You peer around a large boulder, and there, before your eyes, is one of the most bizarre creatures you have ever seen. An ogre. Ogre, like Ogre Battle from Queen. Come to the ogre battle! An ogre itself would be a fearsome sight, but this one has 2 heads. A 2-headed ogre. A rare and dangerous beast indeed, especially when both heads are angry at the same time with each other. Hey, man, this is like those twins. Or not twins, it was one person with 2 heads. That actually legitimately does happen in the human race on Earth. I know of 2 two-headed people. Like, it's freaky, but it's true. Ability, not disability. 2 people, 1 body. I mean, I don't know how they get round getting married and dating and all that, especially if one of them turns out to be, you know, liking the same sex. Like, that must be a nightmare, you know. When you're talking with your twin here that's attached to you, and you're going, yeah, but I like, you know, XYZ, and they're like, nah, but I don't. I like this, and it's my body too. It's like, how do you work about that? How do you get around that one, you know? And I'm so interested in the psychology of who they marry or who they get with, who is like desiring or connecting with 2-headed people. Like, how does that work? Is it like it's like you're forever in a 3-way, isn't it? Like, relationship wise. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I need to see it. I need to see a 2-headed person and how they have a relationship with somebody else. Imagine if they were 2-headed as well. That would probably be actually easier. That would be a lot more to bear, easier to work out and bear. But I think that needs to be a Netflix series, you know? I think there should be a series on how a 2-headed person gets by in the world, how they day-to-day things, how they have relationships, how they go to work. Do they work at separate jobs? Like, what? How does it work? That definitely needs to be. I mean, I wouldn't say freak. No, definitely not freak. That's, if you've got 2 heads, man, that's an ability. I mean, you haven't got 2 heads. You're sharing a body with somebody else. That's more specific. But anyway, spell singers come in when we're talking about 2-headed people. Freaks had deformed people, not disabilities. You mean, yeah, again, having, you know, deformed parts of your body is an ability. Webbed toes, mate, you're a good swimmer. That's not a freak or a disability. That's an ability. I've seen Waterworld. Yeah, webbed. Anyway, let's begin. How's it going, spell singer, anyway? Hungry, one head says gruffly, looking scornfully at the other. Frannish eat too much, fat belly wench. The ogress is clearly taken aback by this outburst. She fixes the... Oh, it's a she. She fixes the other with a glare that could melt ice. You drink too much orc ale. Wake up with sore head. Not me who makes sore head. You drink all night and fight. Franish, not one drinking or fighting. Wake up in jail. Manish is disgrace. Ah, but you not clean cave. Home messy. Bones on the floor. Is he telling his bird off? Is that it? You haven't cleaned the cave up. Bones on floor. Twigs, loincloths, hobbit carcass. You spend all your time chatting with your friends. Like, all over first skin sleep blanket. Cave stinks. Woman work. This dude is from the 1950s, by the sounds of it. If Manish put things away where they belong, Franish not fight over clean cave. And put that toilet seat down when you use it. The argument is in full-blown flow now, and looks like it could turn into an angry clubbing match at any moment. So what to do, guys? We've walked in on a domestic. An ogre domestic is what's happened. They're honestly... If you're interested in twins and deformities, you should read Buss's Evolutionary Psychology and apply the matching Forget it, man. Everyone loves a loincloth. Kevin Costner, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't get that. Right, so what should we do, guys? Shall we wait for the ogre to exhaust itself, battling with itself? Oh, hang on. So this two-headed ogre has one female head and one male head. Is that it? Are they married to each other? Has he married himself? Like, what is going on here? Steve Jackson, man. This'll get him. Two-headed ogre. But one's female, one's male. How does that work? They share the same body, Steve. Like, they got half a uterus, half a ball sack. Is that it? Come on, man. So we can wait for the ogre to exhaust itself, creep quietly around the edge of the cave, and make for the exit. I don't even know why we're in this cave. Or we can make a dash for the entrance. 3 options, guys. We can creep, we can leg it, or we can wait. What shall we do, guys? What are our stats? Spellsinger, we've got... Get ready for this, mate. Are you ready? I'm going to do it in reverse order. Our luck is 8. Okay? Our luck is 8. Our stamina is 19. So, average. But our skill is 12. We are a butt-kicking guy. And we are a guy. But we can't go all night, and we're not that lucky. So, the ogre is a them. Them, they. Actually, we prefer, you know. Get your pronouns right. Ogre politics, man. I'd hate to be around for that. It can get really nasty and heated. It's getting warm in here already. So what should we do, guys? Wait for the ogre to exhaust themselves. Creep quietly around the edge of the cave. Try and get out. Oh, hang on. That was... Elrose was saying wait. As in the decision. I thought Elrose was replying to Spellsinger when she was like, wait. You know, people say, wait, what? Like that. I thought Elrose was doing that. Right. So, you want us to wait for the ogre. Sorry, I'm sitting here waiting for nothing. Such an idiot. Oh, let the battle commence. Hang on, what? Franish is the first to strike, slapping Manish across the face with her left hand. It is a male and a female ogre. How does that happen? How do you have a male and a female sharing the same body? They can impregnate themselves, surely. Honestly. It is not a particularly effective blow, but then neither are most of the blows that will follow. You remain hidden while observing these bizarre proceedings. Manish makes a move to grab a wooden club with his right hand, leaning against the wall close to the cave entrance. But this lunge is abruptly reined in by a timely yank from Franish. Both heads are still trying to exert more influence over their legs, and they stumble around the cavern, cursing their angry other half. Eventually, the ogre's heads exhaust themselves, and the creature curls up into a ball on the ground. Moments later, both Manish and Franish are snoring their head off. This is the chance that you take. Do you wish to search the cave for anything that might be of value, or would you rather make a hasty exit? Do we leg it or peg it? Tell them to off themselves. Was there not a rule change in the stats for this book? What do you mean a rule change for the stats, mate? No, the stats were like, yeah, it says here your skill, stamina, and luck. Same. Yep. 6, 12, and 6, mate. So no rule change for them. There's no special rules in this. Obviously, if you've got a magic weapon, increase your thingy by 2. But there's nothing else here like that says, like, you start your, of course, your adventure would basically start with nothing. I don't think we had any fancy potions, but no rule changes that yeah. Search the cave. I mean, obviously the Amanor we mentioned before, but that's at 0. Special skills. During the course of your adventure, you may acquire one or more special skills. Make sure you tick it off your adventure sheet. Brawling, charisma, lucky, spelling, trap knowledge, and world lore, but it doesn't say that we actually start with any of those. Right, so we're going to, what are we saying? Search. Oh shit, the timer. Thank you, Elrose. Whoops. Daisy. Right. What are we saying? Search again. Do you want to search the cave? Yes, we will search. Thank you for reminding me, man. Heat's getting to me. You rummage through the ogre's possessions. Among all the half-chewed bones and filthy furs, you find a small treasure chest. Hoping it might contain money or precious gems, you open it up. But rather than gold and jewels, you find a human skull. You have no wish to spend any more time here than necessary, so you make for the entrance to the cave. Leg it! Little dice and no timer for the win. You tiptoe across the floor of the cavern, but the light is dim, and you step on a twig which cracks as it breaks in two. Test your luck. Fuck. We got a luck of 8, guys. So, didn't even say what day of the week we start on. Don't know why we have to track this bloody thing. We rolled a 9, which is unlucky, guys. Oh, shit. Balls of fire. That's unlucky. That's not good. I mean, do you reckon it's adventure over, guys? Imagine if it was adventure over. Immediately, the ogre wakes up with a snort. The creature is furious that you're trying to escape and reaches for its club. You, in turn, reach for the sword at your belt, only to find it's not there! You cannot remember what happened to it, but you're hardly likely to scare a two-headed ogre with your bare hands. This brute roars at being woken up from its sleep and attacks, and it's got 2 heads. So it says, whilst you're fighting the ogre, you must deduct 1 point from your skill because you're not using a sword. So our skill is 11, which is still pretty good, to be fair. The ogre's skill is 7. So they have to minus 4 off their... Is it 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? It is 4. They have to minus 4. Meal, drink? Nope, we haven't got any. Climb into the treasure chest and nap in the cave. Right, here we go. So they have to -4, and they're the big dice. So we got a 10. That's a good start. They got a 6. -4 is 2. So they have to remove 8 from their stamina, which their stamina is 10. Now so they've got now 2 stamina. But it says here, if you reduce the ogre's stamina score to 3 points or below, which we have, then we have to turn to this page. So we don't actually get to kill the ogre, by the looks of it. The ogre stumbles backwards and trips over the carcass of a dead hobbit. Hey, Lord of the Rings reference there. The monster lands hard on its back, banging its head together and knocking itself out. With the ogre out of action, you can basically just leg it, because we've already searched the cave. That's a bit of luck, wasn't it? The ogre is oblivious to the fact that its next meal is making its escape. You hurry out of the cave, and as you do so, you pass a small figure hiding in an alcove just inside the entrance. The little man is dressed in bright green clothes and has pointy ears, bright orange hair, and a wicked grin on his face. "Mind how you go," he says with a cheery wave as you run past him. The hell? Ed Sheeran's sitting in the wall. That's it. Outside the cave, dusk is dawning. Or, sorry, dusk is falling. And the shadows are thickening between the trees. As you were wondering which way to go, your ears prick up. In the far distance, you can hear a high-pitched screeching sound. "Something wicked this way comes," says a voice at your feet. And again, it's that little man. He has followed you out of the cave. The sound is getting closer. You look up at the darkening sky, peering into the night, in the hope that you might catch sight of whatever is making the noise. It must be some kind of animal. Animal. What is coming? You turn to ask your strange companion. But he's vanished. The sound is getting very loud now. It is more like a screaming than a screeching. And you cover your ears against the terrible din. You are filled with a dreadful fear, and, not really knowing what you're doing, you start to run. The trees press in on you, so we're more like in a forest, really, isn't it? You know? From every side, while the noise is so loud now, it's as if the whole sky is screaming. And then in the darkness, so it's nighttime, in the darkness you hit your head on a low branch. Knock ourselves out. Your adventure ends here, basically. Woo! Oh, look, a puddle. Take a sip, everyone. Stay hydrated. 2 heads with no brains. Yeah. Are we a young version of the Wizard of Oz? Wicked part -1. What? You open your eyes slowly and your head is aching. The bright sunlight isn't helping. Bright sunlight? But night was falling just a moment ago. The hell's going on? I already had the sound out for nighttime. Where are you? Anyone notice, passenger? Comes a voice from nearby. That was a nasty crack on the head. Thank the gods you're all right. Shame the same can't be said for your backpack, mate. You feel the splash of water on your face, and your vision comes into focus at last. You're on a longboat. Bloody hell, we're out to sea. And one of the several passengers, by the looks of things, it wasn't a branch that hit you on the head, it was one of the oars. Lose 1 stamina point. Guys, we're on Below Deck now. It's turned into Below Deck, the book. You've been dreaming. We've been dreaming. As your vision clears, so does your mind, and suddenly you know where you are. Your journey began 12 days ago. You left your home having saved enough to pay for the voyage eastward to the fabled kingdom of Salamonis. This was a journey first by camel-drawn caravan across the windward plains, and then aboard a fleet of cargo-bearing longboats moored on the Whitewater River. Captain Lee was at the helm. This isn't the Golden Coast. No, mate, this is bloody Below Deck, this is. Perhaps it was a little foolhardy, travelling alone at your age. Indeed, you were almost tempted to turn back on the 7th day, as you left the plains and boarded one of the boats. In your confusion, your backpack and all of its contents were lost, or perhaps stolen. You may never know the truth, but you hold out a faint hope that you will be reunited with your backpack and its contents once again. Perhaps it will turn up in Salamonis. The pack contains some personal items of sentimental value, in particular your favourite book, Tentacles of the Void, you had in your backpack. Or in this case, it was called Longbeard's Legends of the Windward Plains. There was also a short sword given to you by your grandfather, a change of underwear. God, your mother insisted. Fucking, Mom, can you pack my underwear? I'm going on an adventure. As long as you take your grandfather's sword with you. All right, Ma. Like, a few personal mementos. We got some sweet, we got some mints with us as well. And all the money you had in the world. Admittedly, it wasn't a lot, but now you're penniless. Your only remaining possessions are the clothes you are wearing, with about like 4-day-old underwear by the looks of it. And you've had nothing to eat for 3 days. But we haven't lost any stamina for it, so it's all right, it. Your mother would weep to see you in such a state. I told you to take more underwear. Say below deck in an Aussie accent. Below deck. Oh, yeah. Below deck. You're trying to get me to say deck dick. Because Aussies say dick, don't they? I don't know. Hey, Rhymester, can you say deck? Please. In your accent. Grandpa Dumbledore or Granddad Ian McKellen. You were determined to reach your destination. After all, your father was firm that you should get yourself an education. Stop pissing about with them game books. Go to school. And that was game books, not gay books. The city is famed throughout the world as a centre of learning. You were enchanted long ago by the tales of Salamonis and its great riches, which your beloved Uncle Bunkle... Uncle Bunkle! Everyone's got an Uncle Bunkle, guys. Everyone's got one. Our family, honestly. Dude, the book's upside down. What am I doing? Uncle Bunkle. I love that. Where the hell are we? I'm trying to look for Uncle Bunkle, but kind of lost him. There he is. Which your Uncle Bunkle would read to you from Longbeard's book. But since the book disappeared with your backpack, all you have left is your memories of these wonderful stories. Of course, you knew each tale from start to finish. The heroes, the creatures, the treasures and the dangers. But you wanted to see the places described within them for yourself. This sounds like every teenage... like Michael J. Fox, Secret of My Success, Coyote Club, whatever it was called, ugly film. Like, this sounds like every film where I'm gonna go make it, Dad and Ma, you know, in the big city, here we go. You know, it sounds like every one of them films. A Pestridge always says we've all got an Uncle Bunkle. That's Bunkle with a K, I'm afraid. I think. You wanted to see the places for yourself. You follow your dream. For you, there was no turning back. Alright. I think we got a picture here, guys. Nice little picture there. Lovely, jabbly. Isn't that a Peter Kay sketch as well? Uncle Bunkle? No. That's the Picky. Picky Licky. It is mid-afternoon when you finally arrive at Whitewater Landing, Salmonist's Westport. So we're at port now, aren't we? Yeah. As the longboat slows and prepares to dock, the quay becomes a hive of activity. Miscellaneous wharf rats types appear from nowhere to attend to the boats. Ragged porters bustle about on the gangplanks, offered to carry luggage into town, mend leaks, or swab the decks. The stevedores are an unkept lot, generally wearing well-used clothing and worn-out sandals. They busy themselves trying to find some way of making a few coins from the new arrivals, enough to feed themselves, or, more likely, enough to drown their sorrows at the nearest inn. I could have been a contender. That was me. Almost, just not enough. Those who were not capable of physical work become beggars. Indeed, beggars on makeshift crutches are all round the docks. They are infuriatingly persistent, hopping awkwardly alongside their victims with non-stop jabber and pleading, like a swarm of stingflies. They have all learnt that if some victims are reluctant and do not make a donation straight away, they'll just annoy them, which will usually get the same result in the end. Just beg until they give it. You have no luggage, so you're grateful you do not have to deal with porters. You disembark from the longboat along with your fellow travellers, a flatlands barbarian by the name of Nanuk, and a rotund herbalist who goes by the name Healing Hands. I've got healing hands. Thank you very much. No sooner are you standing on the quayside than a middle-aged man wearing voluminous robes hurries over to you. Would you be interested in a map of Salamonis? He asks. No visits to our fine city should be without one. There are only one Sala coin each, after all. You explain that, I ain't got any money, honey. I got no backpack. I got no money. I've literally just jumped off the slave ship. So, can't buy anything, mate. Oh, how unfortunate, the man says, looking you up and down. You have an honest face, and never let it be said that Rusnik Ulson abandoned anyone in need. I mean, what sort of welcome would that be to the greatest city in all Alancia? So on this occasion, my information comes for free. A little local knowledge could prove invaluable. So what do you want to ask the man about? Okay? You can ask him, is it true the streets are paved with gold? Right? Or where can someone new to the city find honest work? Or what coinage is used in Salmonage? We can ask who's in charge. Or you can say, can you tell me more about the great centers of learning? So there's 5 different options here. We can ask about education. We can ask about who runs the show. We can ask about the money and what kind of currency they've got. We can ask about work. And we can ask about rumors. What shall we do, guys? Uncle Knobhead is Peter Kay. Okay. What to do? What to do? We need to get all of our fighting done before the 30-minute mark. And that way 1166 doesn't actually take an effect. Yeah. What's going on, guys? Come on, Spellsinger. What? Well, you could also, as well, you know, there's more than, you know, there's no rule like, hey, everyone's got to take it in turn here. You know. I'll read them out again. So we could go ask about rumors if the streets are paved with gold. We can say, where can we find work? We could ask about the money, the currency that is used in the city. We can ask who runs the city. Or we can, you know, where is, like, the great centers of learning, you know? Let's go to work. Hey, where can an honest man find good work? I would suggest you visit the Adventurers Guild as soon as possible. The Guildmaster is a retired adventurer himself. He posts up any jobs that are going on board outside the front entrance. However, you will want to make sure that you keep far away from the King's tax collector. Odious Pinchpenny. He has a habit of taking a little extra for his own operating costs. Where will I find him, please, good sir? Don't worry, my friend, Rusnik says with a chuckle. He'll find you. Right, so what do you want to ask now? You can ask him about the rumors. You can ask him about currency. You can ask about who is in charge. Or you can ask about the centers of learning. Rumors. Let's go see about rumors. Is it true that the streets here are paved with gold? Well, mate, you're standing on the roads. Why don't you just look down and have a look? No, the streets are not literally paved with gold, but Salamonis is seen as a city of great wealth, Rusnik explains, and therefore attracts the usual opportunists looking to make a better life for themselves. Fortune hunters, adventurers, homesteaders, scavengers, and assorted ne'er-do-wells. These newcomers need to establish themselves and take jobs at any wage, so they compete with the locals for work, especially for menial jobs. And this is a grave concern amongst the peasantry, who blame their lack of employment on the constant influx of new arrivals willing to work at near slave rates. So you can see why visitors are not much liked in Salamonis. It's like, mate, I'm sorry, but I switched off about halfway through that sentence. Or that speech. Like, bearing in mind that you're currently penniless, Rusnik goes on, you might want to ask at the Slime and Swine Guttery about a job. You'll get paid by the day, so at least you'll be able to feed yourself. Maybe even find a place to sleep. Pigboy Snouter farms hogs and specializes in razorbacks. But even the poorest salmon wouldn't take one of Snouter's jobs. It is simply beneath their dignity. However, in your case, you may decide that beggars can't be choosers. And tomorrow you can go look for work at the Adventurers Guild. Taking one of his maps, he circles 3 locations: your current position, the Slime and Swine Guttery, and the Adventurers Guild. Add the city map to your equipment list. We got the city map. I mean, the book didn't actually come with a map. Like, there's no that I saw. Yeah. There's no map in this book, by the way. Like, bit weird. You've got the city map, but you can't visually see it. What's that all about, Steve? All you've got is this spelling sheet at the back, which I haven't got a clue what that's for. Check Discord maps. Yeah, man. Honestly. Here's your map. Great. Can I see it? No. Sorry, mate. You can't, you know. Great. Thanks for that. Good advice, Resnick. Thanks for your invisible map. Oh, hello. What's this? Bradapussy? What? The fuck? It doesn't come up here on the viewer activity for some reason. I don't know why. But Bradapussy, welcome to the club. Right. Good advice from Rusnick, you think, but there is another option. You are still bitter about the loss of your backpack and its contents, you know, which has left you with nothing. Because, you know, buddy, our Nintendo Switch 2 was in that backpack, you know. And you've been thinking about other ways of making money. OnlyFans. Some of these, shall we say, not entirely honourable, you know, or lawful. So we got to make some money, basically. I had to do it for the money, you know. I do regret it. They got the Nintendo Switch, but we kept all the games. You are attracting sex maniacs. Yeah, man. Was this Bradapussy fella? Like, I think that's what it was. I don't think there's anywhere I'm going to be able to see this name because for some reason it hasn't showed up in my activity here, which it usually does. And it's not going to show on... Oh, here. Yeah, it has actually. Yeah. Brady Puss 06. Thank you for following the channel. Physical media jokes. If you want. Right. At that moment, an elderly noblewoman and her entourage disembarked from a fine bark on the quayside. Having an eye for a heavy tipper, Rusnick bids you good luck and farewell, and bustles off to see if he can be of assistance to the noblewoman, waving a handful of maps to attract her attention. It's probably wise to leave the Whitewater landing area as soon as possible, but you're still curious about the docks and the people who make a living here. A makeshift marketplace has already sprung up, and traders are bawling their wares to their customers. But what good is a market to you if you don't have any fucking money? Do you have the city map? Yes, we do, but we can't see it. Looking at the invisible map Rusnick gave you, you see the location of the Adventurers Guild quite clearly. Evidently. It is close to the bazaar, while Pig Boy, Snouter, Slime and Swine Guttery lies outside the city walls, beyond the west gate. I hope you guys are making notes and drawing a map here, because, you know, I ain't got a clue. What do you want to do? You can visit the Adventurers Guild, you can make your way to the Slime and Swine Guttery, or you can explore the docks. What shall we do, guys? An elderly knob woman. What? The hell's a knob woman? Slime and Swine. Have you got this book, Spellsinger? Have you read this book? Have you picked it up? You follow the path northwest from the port in the direction of Westgate. Along the way, you check with passers-by that you're heading in the right direction. But why does everyone laugh when they hear you're going to Snouters? When the... Hang on, we're not going to Snouters. We're going to the bloody... Slime and Swine... Oh, yeah, it is Snouters. Guttery, yeah, okay. When the wind changes direction, you realise why. The stench is absolutely horrendous. The guttery itself is little more than a ramshackle hut buzzing with flies. As soon as you set your eyes on the owner, you understand why he's called Pig Boy Snouter, and that it's nothing to do with the fact that he deals in pig guts. He looks like a pig. You looking for work? Snouter calls to you. He is wearing a filthy apron and smeared with blood all over him. Basically Leatherface. Isn't it? How did you know? Like, nobody comes here otherwise. Snouter laughs. It's the only reason anyone comes here. Otherwise, we have to go to them. Do you want to tell Snouter that you are indeed here looking for work? Or do you think it would be wiser just to walk away and head back into town? We're not even near the docks anymore. So, we're out by Snouterville. He's a butcher. Snouter, no snouting. The map appears in the moonlight. Yeah, basically, isn't it? Can't believe they didn't put a map into this. Fucking bullshit. So, are we going to tell them we're looking for work? Yeah, I need to earn some money, mate. You know. Yep. So, what's yep? So, I gave you two choices. Yep. Like, right, are we indeed like work? Thank you, Rhymester. Yeah, looking for work, right? Like, yeah, I do need some money. The following you follow Snouter inside his little hut. Inside his little hut, wondering how long you can hold your breath for. This is where Snouter and his younger brother, Jowler, undertake what is surely the most disgusting job of all in Salamonis. They process the rotting guts of dead pigs, fish, and other odorously decaying animals. Clearly, Snouter's hygiene is lax, and for some, such work is just too much to bear. They get physically sick on the job, which only adds to the stench. It's said that both Snouter and Jowler can only run the business because they have no sense of smell themselves. However, the guttery has a reputation for producing the finest rotten entrails in all of Alancia. Only the best entrails for us. Once suitably decomposed, the guttery's products are exported, mainly to Shazar, where the acidic slime is considered a rare delicacy, forming the basis of a pungent gravy known as lamoy. Look, Snouter admits, I know it's not a glamorous job. Some people can't stand it for longer than a couple of hours. But stick it out, and I'll pay for a fair day's work. And it's tax-free, he says. After all, a hog may have habits that disgust, but who would turn his nose up at its meat? If you can just put up with the stink for a few hours, this seems a good way to make a bit of money. 5 salacoins for 1 day's labor. And so you shake his hand and set to work. You're given the job of separating the fish guts from swine fat. The stench is overwhelming. Says roll 1 die. Triple the fee. I don't get out of bed for less than 15 Salacoins. Did anyone watch Rave Across the World Mongolia episode? Rave across the world. Yo, we're good. That's it, man. Going across the world. Right, we rolled a 4. So that means turn to this page. It is not long before the stink makes you gag. Will your nose and stomach be strong enough to last a day of this nasal torture? We'll find out. Deduct 2 points of stamina. Now we're down to 16. It says it also if you rolled a 6, which we didn't, you'd also lose a skill point. But we're okay. Do you want to stick it out in the hope of receiving this money for a day's work, or do you want to quit before you lose more stamina? And it's irreversible damage. So shall we push on through, or shall we just call it a day? The fish smell is coming from the girls working there. Oh, mate, come on. Bloody Roy Chubby Brown humor, that is. Fuck you know. Invoices in the post. Do you want to hand in your P45, or shall we stick it out for the paycheck? What do you reckon? Keep on going. Keep on moving. We want some money, honey. Let's go. Keep on. Pig snorting, man. You stick it out all day and suffer no more ill effects. As they say, that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That is my saying, my friend. Not that I invented it, but that's what I always say. Snouter appreciates your help, and at the end of the day, you get 5 Salacoins. Woo! Yeah, baby. 5 SC. We're in the money. We've got some honey. We've got 5 Salacoins. And gain 2 Aminor points. That's like fame and fortune for working the pig shit. He also offers you another day's work. But you've had enough. You fucked it. No thanks, mate. I've got respect, dignity. I understand, he says, but you've done a good job. Perhaps I can tempt you with another. I'll give you 2 Salacoins for each new worker you recruit. I've just had a big order in from Shazar, and if I don't get more workers, I'm going to have to turn the order down. So we be basically the pimp now for the butchery shop. And if we get people sent to him, like that Forever Living company, with their bloody aloe vera, we still get paid. So that's worth trying to, whore out people to, I think. So it's a no-lose situation. If you come across a section with a pig's head symbol next to it, you can roll 1 die. And if you roll 4 to 6, you've just recruited a worker to Snouter's guttery. I need to write this down. 4 to 6, pig head. And we will get 2 Salacoins. 2 SC for every time. So, guys, if you hear me talking about a bloody pig's head symbol, then I want you guys to put pig in capital letters. That triggers me to roll 1 die. Okay? Shall we practice it? So we've all got it. Everybody type pig in capital letters, just so I know you guys understand what I'm saying. And then, yeah, you can basically keep a track of how many workers you've recruited on your adventure sheet. We'll get 2 gold coins. See, this is why I get you to do it. Caps. Pigs. You know, man. Apologies, all I've had to bail. Oh, see, you mentioned pigs. Cops. Spellsinger's running. The cops are after Spellsinger, and he's like, what? The cops? I'm out of here. It was too much for him. Take care, Spellsinger. I hope you don't get caught and arrested. Anyway. Leaving the guttery, you head back into town, hoping you can leave the foul stench of the place behind you soon too. If you have the beggar's mark, which we don't, I don't even know what that is. The bloody beggar's mark? The sun is lower in the sky now. The day is wasting away. Do you want to return to the docks and take a look around? Something tells me we're in the actual area of the town or something. Do you want to head back to the docks and look around, or do you want to make your way to the Adventurers Guild? Still don't even know what day it is. It's told us to keep track of the day, but it doesn't tell you what day you start on. At least I don't think it did. Pretty sure it didn't. It just says the first day of the week is Storm's Day, and then it goes through da-da-da. But it never says you start your day on this day. So, who knows? So, are we going to go and return to the docks, or are we going to go to the Adventurers Guild? What shall we do? Check the docks again. Or first. Let's go have a little walk around the docks. Head to the docks, my friend. Head to the docks. As you soon learned, this area is actually called the Boondocks, since the gulls and visitors that arrive here are considered a boon to the city. There are all manner of hawkers peddling goods and costermongers pushing their handcarts before them, crying bread, fish, and meat pies. Suddenly, you catch sight of a young urchin pushing his way through the crowd with a large backpack slung across his shoulders. Hang on, is that your backpack? You shout for the boy to stop, but instead, he takes off into the mass of peddlers and their customers who are crowding the quayside. Hang on a sec. You set off in pursuit, but soon lose him in the throng, only to run slap bang into a pair of burly guards, wearing helmets and breastplates, bearing the arms of the Port Authority. Sorry, I just need to check on something here. I don't know why, but I got this feeling. No. Nah. I don't know why, but I thought somebody was... It's alright. Sorry. Don't know. You set off in pursuit, but soon lose him in the throng, only to run slap bang into a pair of burly guards, wearing helmets. Oi! Snaps the taller of the two. Look, where you going? Now's your chance. If you want to, you can try reporting the loss of your backpack to the guards, or if you just want to apologize and get out of their way as quickly as possible. Because these are a pair of burly guards wearing helmets and breastplates, bearing the arms of the Port Authority. Jeff Whitty's in the house. Are we dead yet, mate? No, we're not dead yet. But we, I mean, yeah, we're a ways in, I'd say. But we're not dead yet, no. So, yeah. Shall we report our backpack, or shall we just get out of their way? Basically. To Jeff, just to fill you in, we've got a skill of 12, a stamina currently of 16, and a luck currently of 7. We have the city map in our backpack, and that is it. We don't have a sword. We don't have any meals. We've got 5 Sala coins to spend, and 2 Amanor points, which is like how famous you are. And that is it so far, mate. No weapon, or yeah, basically we're, you know. So every time we have a fight, we have to lose 1. We have to minus our skill by 1. We got nothing because our backpack got stolen. So all of our, like, the book we read, all of our stuff, it was, you know, taken from us. And we've only just done some work to give us some money. So there isn't really a kind of mission in this book. It really wasn't, oh, go here and do that. It was, you heard of, your parents told you of a town and a life that you wanted to live, so you headed off out to live this life, and then I think you got captured, or something, I don't know, and then you ended up in an ogre cage. Something at the beginning. I can't. It's not very clear, the backstory to this book or the mission that you're on. I feel anyway. Yeah, we worked at a pig farm, working in the pig shit, and got 5 Sala coins. It's an allegory to real life. Yeah, yeah. Aimlessly wandering around, collecting a paycheck for shite work. That's life. So anyway, we can either report our backpack that was stolen to these guards, or we can just get out of their way and let them pass. So let them pass. One day those bully boys will get what's coming to them, comes a gruff voice from behind you. You turn to see one of your companions from the longboat standing there. It is Nanak the barbarian. They wouldn't treat a strong arm like that, that's for sure. There's no doubting Nanak's profession. With a powerful physique and a short temper, this mountain of a man strikes an imposing figure on the dockside, but his presence makes you feel slightly less anxious. You're sure that if you could tag along with him, you wouldn't run into any more trouble, and so you start to make small talk with the barbarian, asking him whether he is pleased to be in Salamonis. For the last 5 years, I've worked as a strong arm and risen to the rank of captain, he tells you. My travels have taken me to the 4 corners of Atlantia. When I was younger, I enjoyed the excitement of new sights, new places, new people, but now I just want an easier life. I have seen little of my wife, Tabitha. It's time to settle down, perhaps start a family. Salmonis is my new home. I promised Tabitha that after my last job, I wouldn't take on any more strong arm work. You've just started out in the world yourself, and the barbarian is looking to retire. Which way are you headed, young man? He says. If you're looking for adventure, you'll be wanting the Adventurers Guild. How will you reply? Yes, I'm headed for the Adventurers Guild. Or no, I'm going to look for some work here at the Boondocks. How do you want to answer? We're looking for adventure or we're looking for work? Which one? Adventure, my friend. We're looking for adventure. I'll walk with you then, says Nanook, and the two of you set off together into town, heading in the direction of the Sunrise Gate and leaving the hustle and bustle of the Boondocks behind. As you walk, you ask the barbarian what life is like as a strongarm. He tells you that it was his job to keep convoys safe from marauding orcs and goblins. The longboat you arrived on was carrying miscellaneous sacks of cargo, including fine cloth and exotic foodstuff. The hired strongarms were there to take on any pirates the boat might have encountered during the journey, using their bows, arrows, and swords to repel any attack. And that is what it means to be a strongarm, Nanook says. Keep the cargo safe, whatever the danger. You should bear it in mind if you ever find yourself short of money. Luckily, there you go. What is this? Him talking? Luckily, you've had no unwelcome encounters during your journey to Salamonis. There was nothing for the guards to do besides tell stories, drink, and gamble. And it is the drinking and gambling that are often the ruination of strongarms, not marauding orcs and goblins. They will either have gambled away their entire wage before they get home, leaving nothing for their families, or they will drink it away on the first night back. Such is the life of a strongarm. Ah, there she is, Nanook suddenly declares, pointing. Tabitha, over there. His wife waves to him through the crowds, as does a young boy holding her hand. In tears, she runs to Nanook and hugs him. Oh, my strongarm. Nanook embraces her in return, holding her in his powerful arms. And, who is this young soldier, he asks, fixing the youngster with a quizzical gaze. Whose boy is this? What? Why, this is Ben Boy. Your son? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, hello, son. Does he not remember his own son? The hell? Nanook kneels down to face the boy. Hello, son, he says. I'm pleased to meet you, Dad, says the child. With one hand his wife's waist and holding his son's hand with the other, Nanook bids you farewell and sets off for home. I don't think he recognizes his son. The hell? What a shit father to not know his... Yeah. Was he a... Do you know what? Is he even the father? Like, if he doesn't remember, maybe, like, she was off with the postman while Nanook was off doing his strongarm, and she's like, yeah, this is your son. Yeah. Why is he a different color? You know, what's that all about? Oh, he was born in the dirt or something, you know. I don't know. This is a bit weird. As you go your separate ways, you hear Nanook ask, how old are you, Ben Boy? Yeah, he's trying to work it out. He's trying to... Yeah, when were you born? How old? Right, I wasn't home, Ben. Oh, I don't know. 4, said the child's innocent reply. Did you hear that, Tabitha? The barbarian laughs. The boy can't count. I've been away for 5 years! But he thinks he's 4! That kid is not Nanook's. Confirmed. He's been away for 5 years, and the kid is 4. Tabitha, the dirty whore. Gain 1 Aminor point from that. Honestly. Mate, I would not pay any money towards that kid. It ain't yours. We're going to need a DNA test. Yeah, seriously. That is so... Oh, my gosh. I can't believe Steve wrote that into the book. Like, what the hell's going on? Or it could have been Jonathan Green. It's either Jonathan or Steve. Who knows? That's mental, that is. Travelling eastwards along the Grand Parade, you pass a number of groups of locals engrossed in their conversations. As you pass them, you offer a friendly smile, but mostly ignore you. Those who do acknowledge you give you an unwelcoming scowl in return. Alright, moody fashions. The Grand Parade, which is also known as the Golden Way, is a magnificent avenue as befits such a wealthy kingdom. Oh yeah. Golden Way is the main road through the city of the centre of the city. It is cobbled and lined with statues of the grand elders of Salamonis, past and present. The shops you see lining the road here sell luxury items such as exotic cooking spices and beautiful ladies' gowns. But for the most wonderful feature is not even apparent. In fact, that is what makes it so special. Whilst lesser towns consider an open sewer cleansed by rainwater to be quite an advancement beyond the dig and bury home latrine, the sewer in Salamonis is totally hidden away underground. You know, like a normal sewer system. No splashing, no unpleasant smells, no unfortunate accidents resulting in someone falling into an active sewer. On top of that, the sewer is large enough for a man to stand up in, which could prove of military use in an emergency. So this Salamonis is a very advanced civilization, basically. A most ingenious idea by King Salomon LV11. LV11. Hang on. LV11 is 57. Bloody hell. 57. King Salomon the 57th. Jeez, man, that's a lot. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch sight of a gaunt-looking figure hobbling away down a side street. What has attracted your attention is the fact that he's carrying a backpack that looks very similar to your own. There must be many adventurers in a place like Salamonis, all carrying their own packs. But if there is just a small chance it could be yours, surely you've got to investigate. Do you want to set off down the side street after the skinny man, or would you rather keep heading along the Grand Parade? The bastard, he's got our backpack. Yeah. So are we going to go give chase to him, or are we just going to let it go? Investigate him. Let's go after him. Oi, mate, that's mine. You turn off the Golden Way into the shaded side streets. It does not take long for the man to realise he's being followed, and despite his limp, he starts to quicken his step and disappears around a corner ahead of you before you can catch him up. Reaching the entrance to the twisting alleyway, you can see neither hide nor hair of the man, and so set off at a run, hoping to catch up with him around the next corner. As it is, you are picking up the pace that you trip, your foot catching on loose cobblestones. You are sent sprawling in the dirt and graze your knees and bang your elbows, lose 2 stamina points. Bloody hell. Bloody Mr. Magoo. Picking yourself up again, you hobble along the alleyway, but can see no sign of the man with the backpack. Seeing as how you've got no other choice, you return to the main thoroughfare. Balls. Yeah, must have been some fall, man. The Grand Parade leads all the way to the Royal Palace, but before it gets there, it opens into a square packed with stalls which are shutting up for the day. This is Salamonis' famous bazaar. Surrounding the square are inns and shops and a rather dilapidated building that looks like a cross between a temple and a tavern. Above the door hangs a sign in the shape of a shield bisected by a sword. This must be the Adventurers Guild. The sun is sinking behind the rooftops to the west, casting long shadows across the market square. There is a board outside the guild house displaying the jobs that are currently available. However, in large red letters at the bottom of the board are the words, "Only open to guild members. Adventurers permits 2 gold pieces." Clearly, if you want to become an adventurer in Salamonis, it's going to cost you some money. The heavy iron-bound door to the guild house is closed, and by the orange glow of the setting sun, you see that a sign has been hung on the door, and it reads, "Closed. Come back tomorrow." You try the door, but it is clearly locked and bolted from the inside. Banging on the door doesn't actually do anything, to be honest. "Can't you read?" You turn to see it's one of the stall holders who is packing up for the day, and he's addressing you. You tell him that you've travelled from your home to Salamonis with the intention of making your way in the world as an adventurer for hire. Yeah, that explains it, yeah," mutters the man, although you're not sure quite what it explains exactly. "Look, you just can't rock up here and call yourself an adventurer. You have to join the guild first, but that'll cost you. If it's a job you're after, Pig Boy Snouter's always hiring at the Slime and Swine Guttery. Tell him Frank sent you and I'll get some bunts for it. You'll find his place outside the west gate." You thank the man for his advice and decide what to do. What do you want to do? Do you want to make your way to the Slime and Swine Guttery? Do you want to explore the docks? Or do you want to ask the stall holder if he's hiring at present? Maybe he's got a job. What shall we do? Ash Stablekeeper. What? The fuck does that mean, mate? Never even mentioned anything about a stablekeeper. Jeff, what are you smoking, mate? Ask storeholder about a job. Okay. Yeah. Did you mean storeholder when you say stablekeeper? Ash stable. And that's supposed to be ask. I'm going to guess you meant storeholder. Jeff's puffing a magic dragon, guys. Never said stable. Hey, it fucking says it right there. Ash Stable Keeper. Alright. You need a permit from the Tradesmen's Guild to work in the bazaar, the man tells you. You got one of those? You shake your head. Did think so. You walk away disconsolately. It feels like you need a permit to fucking have a shit in this place. But permits cost money, and your life savings were in your backpack, and we've only got 5 Salacoins. Like, does that not get us anything? What's the matter, friend? A voice belongs to a lean man, dressed in fine clothes that have nonetheless seen better days. He has a curling moustache at his top lip, and a goatee on his chin, and a twinkle in his eye. Hey. Hello, young man. Looking for work? A group of my friends want to meet with you. They want to offer you jobs that you can pay in hand. You look like an honorable chap, he says, putting his arm around your shoulders. I mean, you've got an honest, young face. I'm surprised to see someone like you in an impetuous state. You didn't realize that you were in this state, but you thought Salamonis was a kingdom. You need to earn some Salacoins, don't you? Then Rodriguez is your man. But why work for a living when you can grift. Grifting is far easier. I think grifting is slang for rent boy. You don't have to take insults or deal with angry men. What's grifting, mate? Sounds a little bit dodgy and a little bit, you know. It's only dodgy if you get caught. Rodriguez replies, lowering his voice, and I'd never get caught. The two of you sit down on a bench nearby, and Rodriguez tells you what he's got in mind. We start at the nearest inn, right? Inns mean ale, and ale means marks. Marks are what we're looking for. People who have had a skinful already, who are not as alert as they were earlier in the day, and we're going to use them to entertain the whole inn. Do you want to go along with this Rodriguez fella and try your hand at grifting? Or do you think it sounds a little bit too dubious and that you should leave Rodriguez to work his con tricks alone? What shall we do? And he has his glasses on, eh? Grifting, aka scamming. Basically, yeah. Yeah. What are you reading? On my screen it says ask stallholder. Mate, I'm gonna copy and paste. Oh! What the fuck? Right, Jeff, what are you doing, mate? It says Ash Stablekeeper. As soon as I go to copy it, or as soon as I move over it, man, I need to show you this. Look at this shit. You've swindled me, mate. Right, hang on. Let me show you this. Right, let me get this in. I need to find a way. Hang on. Check this out, mate. Where is it? Here it is. Look. Here, Jeff Whitty. Ash Stablekeeper, yeah? Ash Stablekeeper. As soon as I go to move over it, it bloody changes on the spot. Look at that. You see what I'm saying, mate? Ash Stablekeeper, and then as soon as I hover over it with my mouse, ask stallholder. What's that all about, mate? Do you see it? I grifted you. You little fella, mate. Honestly. What are you doing? That was so funny, mate. I've never seen that before, by the way. I've never seen that before. Right, you want to grift, Jeff. Oh my gosh, you guys want to grift. I see what you see. It changed to what I put. The Ash Stablekeeper is your chatting auto-fixing. I don't know, mate. I don't know what's going on anymore. But you guys want to start conning people. That's on you. Right, I need a whiz, by the way, guys. I'm going to nip for a wee before we continue. This water is going through me. I will be right back. Friggin' YouTube AI got us tripping balls. Mate, honestly, that is, if that's YouTube AI, that's weird, because that means anything you say can be changed, like, weirdly. Where's Elrose gone? I don't know. Maybe he had to go do something. I don't know. The inn is just around the corner, says Rodriguez, as you make the town into half-darned lane. Excuse me. Oh, I got the hiccups. You can hear a raucous crowd chattering and laughing a short distance ahead. You squint to read the sign hanging outside the inn. What's this, you snort? The half-darned sock? What kind of name is that for an inn? And why is it only half-darned? Ah, yes, replies Rodriguez. There's history behind this particular hoistery. It's the oldest one in Salamonis. However, our present need is cash. And a drunken crowd like this is very easy to grift from. As you open the heavy wooden door and enter the inn, the noise from inside is deafening. The place is heaving. It's as though you've suddenly come across a fighting bear pit mid-bout. You can hardly hear yourself think. It seems something special arrived with the longboats and now everyone is celebrating. Hey, Mikhail, how's it going? It's always like this after the longboats arrive, Rodriguez yells over the noise. The sailors take their wages and go straight off to the nearest inn. Often they drink or gamble away the lot in only a few hours, to the despair of their wives and children. And that's the picture you get. Right there. Boom. By the entrance, a heated argument has broken out between a staggering half-elf and a woozy sailor. The dispute has progressed from harsh words to pushing and shoving, and this is all about who is entitled to sit on a wooden stool that has become vacant. But now the two of them have progressed to fisticuffs, and their jostling is starting to annoy the customers. A shrill whistle pierces the air. Almost immediately, a burly strongarm appears to break up the fight. He picks up both the miscreants by their collars and throws them onto the street. They look at each other quizzically. What right did this strongarm have to manhandle them, and so roughly? The pair curse him and vow that they will get their own back on the barbarian, but they have completely forgotten what their argument was about. The sailor offers to buy the half-elf a mug of ale. The two re-enter the inn, smiling now, with their arms around each other's shoulders. Quite a few sailors will be going home to their wives empty-handed, Rodriguez says, and that's where we come in. They're going to spend all their salacoins on drinking or gambling anyway. We just need to make sure some of it comes our way. Here, let me buy you an ale, and I'll explain what we're going to be doing. You find a table, and I'll get the drinks in. As you squeeze through the crowd looking for somewhere to sit, you notice a coin on the floor. Do you want to pick it up, or would you rather ignore it? So, that's our choices. We see a coin on the floor. We can either pick it up, or we can ignore it. What shall we do? I don't know. It's all very weird. Pick it up. Let's try and pick up the coin. It's a silver salacoin. No one appears to be looking for it. So we can either try and find its rightful owner, we can give it to Rodriguez, or we can keep it for ourselves. What shall we do? I bet we are the Mark or the Patsy. I don't know, man. Elrose is here. There you go. There's Elrose. Sorry, nipped off. There you go. Still going strong. Yeah, we're still in Salmon. It's going strong. Oh no. Well, why is that bad? When I said we're still going strong. Give the coin. Give the coin to Rodriguez. Thank you, friend, Rodriguez says, seemingly genuinely surprised and touched by your generosity, especially considering your situation. Just for that, I'm going to let you into a little secret. I have a cheeky little grift, which should get us a few free drinks and maybe even a room for the night. It's called a 2-card trick. All you need to remember is that when the mark tells you their final total from the 2 cards, subtract 25. What you'll be left with is the correct 2-digit number. Got it? Okay? Do you guys understand that? You follow Rodriguez to the bar, where he immediately starts to address the landlord. I'm going to show you a trick which, quite honestly, astonishes me every time I do this. I kid you not. You're going to pick 2 cards, and with a little magic, I will tell you what they are without ever seeing them. Hopefully, you'll find it entertaining enough to let me have a room for the night. The landlord is intrigued. Come on, then, he says. Let's see what you've got. Rodriguez lays a pack of cards on top of the bar. So, here we go. This is a pack of cards numbered 1 to 9 in 4 suits. I'm going to shuffle them. He rifles the deck like a professional card sharp. And now, pick a card, any card, and then show it to everyone. The landlord picks a card from the shuffled deck, revealing it to the crowd of onlookers that is gathering by the bar. It's a 6. He then places it face down on the counter. So, how are you at sums? Rodriguez asks. Considering your line of work, I expect you are pretty good. Or would you have gone out of business by now? The onlookers, the regulars in particular, laugh at hearing this line. Remember the number on your card, Rodriguez tells the landlord. Double it, and then add 5, and multiply the number you now have by 5. You got it? The landlord confirms that he has. Now, I want you to choose another card. He does so, and add this number to the total you've already got in your head, and tell me the final total. 89, announces the landlord. Then, your 2 cards were, are you ready for this? The crowd are on tenterhooks, and a hush has descended. A 6 and a 4. The landlord looks astonished. He turns over the 2 cards. Gasps are heard from all around the bar. He had indeed chosen a 6 and a 4. True to his word, the landlord offers Rodriguez a room for the night. Well, that's me sorted, the grifter says, a familiar sparkle in his eye. Do you want to give it a try? You were watching carefully, weren't you? If you want to try and find yourself a suitable mark and try and trick yourself in exchange for some money, which you can then use to pay for a room, we can do that. Or do you think the trick is way beyond your talent? What shall we do? So Mikkel's worked it out here. He's worked out the maths that lead to the 2 card numbers. Okay? So, I think we'll be alright here. What shall we do? We can do it, yeah? Shall we do it? Let's go for it, yeah? Setting on a table of dwarf miners who are drinking together at a table in a darkened corner, you try to give them the same banter Rodriguez gave the landlord. Although you're not as well practiced at this sort of thing as he is, you do actually manage to persuade the 5 dwarfs to agree to give you 2 Sala coins each if you correctly guess the second card they pick, which means we'll have 10 Sala coins at the end of this. A burly dwarf with muscular arms and a shaved head goes first. He picks a card. Okay, now double it, you tell him. Add 5 and multiply the number you now have by 5. Then when you're ready, pick another card. Another of the miners selects the second card and a hush falls over the table as they work out the final sum. 118, the dwarf says at last, beaming at his friends proudly. So, what are the 2 cards the dwarfs picked up? If you know, tell me the solution in a 2-digit number and we'll turn to that page. Okay? The real hustle meets fighting fantasy. Mate, this is honestly. So what is the answer to that one, guys? What's your guess? First one who puts it in is what we go with. Repeat it. Ah, mate. I don't. Hey, sorry, dwarf. What did you say your number was again? 118. The dwarf says annoyingly. So Mikkel reckons it's 93. A 9 and a 3. The two cards you picked were a 9 and a 3. You tell the dwarfs. The shaven-headed miner turns the cards over on the table in front of him, dumbstruck. You are right. The dwarfs reluctantly hand over your winnings, accompanied by a lot of grumbling and complaining. You get 2 points of Amanor for a total of 5 and 10 Salacoins. Now we have 15 Salacoins, guys. The Salacoins jangling in your pocket, you make your way back to the bar and tell the landlord that you would like a room for the night. That'll be 1 gold piece or 10 Salacoins, he tells you. You can afford it, but are you willing to pay for a room for the night, or would you prefer to sleep on the street so as to save your money as much as possible? So, do you want to pay 10 Salacoins, guys, to sleep in a room for the night? Or do you want to go sleep on the streets and save your money? Because that's a bit expensive, I'd say. 10 Salacoins equals 1 gold piece. We've got 15 Salacoins, so we're literally giving him 80% of what we've got for just 1 night's stay. I don't know how many nights we can afford to keep this up. Need to find a better paid job than the pig shitter. I can't believe that you got actual Amanor points for conning people. You want to pay for the room, okay? So we're back down to 5. And we're going to get to stay in a luxury room. Although it's not the nicest room, nor the most comfortable bed, you sleep as well as if you were staying at the royal palace. You wake suitably refreshed and ready to face whatever the day may bring. But we didn't actually regain any stamina points. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? You might not have been in Salamonis long, but what you have learned is that anybody who wants to become an adventurer and take on any officially listed guests has to become a member of the Adventurers Guild first. It's a new day, and the bright morning sunlight fills you with a renewed sense of optimism. You soon find your way to the Adventurers Guild on Market Square, next to the bazaar. The building might be in need of a few repairs. There are missing tiles from the roof and a couple of broken window panes, but its pillared entrance and sturdy iron-bound oak door still speak of a faded grandeur. In some ways, it reminds you of a grizzled veteran adventurer. The guild is open for business, and as you approach the entrance, your eye is drawn to the quests board outside. Pinned to the bottom board is a curl of parchment with 3 words written on it in a neat calligraphic script. Found 1 backpack. Could it be your missing pack? You enter the guild house at a run, your heart hammering in your chest. You find yourself in a large room that seems to be full of hard-hitting adventuring types. Flatlands barbarians, salty sea dogs from the Skull Coast, half-elves from the Forest of Yore, dwarfs from Stonebridge, and even black-clad warriors swathed in loose-fitting black robes from Chiang Mai. Discussing everything from the price of throwing knives in Silverton to the whereabouts of a city lost in the Desert of Skulls and rumours of a war brewing between 2 rival sorcerers. You approach the counter on the far side. Standing behind it is an elderly gentleman with a warm smile and a twinkle in his eye. "And what can I do for you?" he asks. "I saw that you have a backpack handed in and thought it might be mine," you say. You then proceed to tell him how you came to lose it in the first place. When you have finished your story, the guildmaster says, "How do I know that you say is true? You could be a scammer trying to claim something that doesn't belong to you. Can you tell me what was in it?" You rattle off the list of contents. A few personal memories, or mementos, sorry. A short sword, spare underwear. "Did your mum write your name in them?" The guildmaster laughs. "Your money bag and a copy of Longbeard's Legends of the Windward Plains." "Sounds like it could be yours," says the man. "But are you prepared to put your money where your mouth is? You need to pay 1 gold piece if you want me to release it into your custody, which is equal to 10 Sala coins. We've only got 5. This is outrageous. You're having to pay to get your own pack back, but it doesn't seem like you have any choice. Well, we don't have 10 Sala coins, sadly. Probably would have lost stamina sleeping on the street. Well, we're losing our backpack because we didn't. We don't have the required fee. Your quest to become an adventurer seems to have been doomed from the start. Test your luck, it says. We've got a luck of 7 right now. Oh my gosh, double 6s. That is so unlucky. That is double unlucky, I would say. Finding your lost backpack and then not being able to reclaim it is the final straw. You lose your temper and start shouting at the man, making all sorts of slanders about his heritage. And this is not long before a couple of guild members seize hold of you and drag you off to the local guardhouse. There you are thrown into a stinking stone cell for disturbing the peace. You vow that when they let you go, if they let you go, you will return home and become a bear sheep farmer. Your adventure ends here. Honestly. Guys, that's it. When we couldn't get our backpack back, we lost it and went mental, which is why you should never lose your temper. And now they've thrown us in jail and our adventure is over. What a weird one. Honestly. That was so randomly weird. Can you believe it, guys? That's it. That's all, folks. That is mental. Unbelievable. I don't know what to say about that, guys. I really don't. 21 minutes is how long that lasted, guys. 21 minutes. Back with the sheep. I mean, secrets of Salamonis. We're going to have to stay a secret, I'm afraid. So, our next adventure, guys, is in 2 weeks' time. And it is, so far, the final adventure. It's the dungeon on Blood Island adventure. So that is, in 2 weeks' time, that's what it will be. The dungeon on Blood Island. So, anyone got to the UK Games Expo? I mean, obviously I'm not there, mate, clearly. So, the Blood Island is the latest release one, but we are due another one from Ian Livingston this year or next. So, I don't know. Only book I died faster in was Trial of the Champions. I can't believe that to be honest. Because, okay, you don't get your backpack back, but why does that... I mean, hey guys, I got a whole bunch of custard creams down to myself. I'll save them for over a week. Anyway, let's start the countdown, guys, of chatting, you know, a load of rubbish for 3 minutes. So, guys, I want to say thank you very much for turning up. I really, really appreciate everybody who showed up today and took part. It's not the Fighting Fantasy series. Oh, sorry, yeah. Legion of the Necromancer. Yeah, so we're going to, after Blood Island, we're going to do the Sorcery series. After the Sorcery series, we're going to go through and do other adventure books that are not part of Fighting Fantasy, which will include Legion of the Necromancer. And it will end on the one that they're going to release later down the line. Tentacles of the Void. So, yeah. Took so many attempts. I made a perfect map drawing of the dungeon. So that was a really interesting little story. For anybody who cares, look out. I'll be filming a video of my top 20 favorite films. Like, if anybody cares. Might do one for Fighting Fantasy books as well. My top 20 favorite Fighting Fantasy books, because I've never done that. I did the community one like 6-7 years ago, but I might do my personal one. So, like, my favorite books. So we'll see. But thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it. And in 2 weeks' time, we will go to Blood Island. And trial out that one. And yeah, basically that's it. I can't think of anything else. I'm gonna be I'll be recording some stuff when I hang up here, and that'll be today, I guess. Yeah. So, do you have a personal favorite book? I don't know, actually. I think I do. I think I do purely out of nostalgia. But yeah, you'll have to wait for the video to find out which one it is. All right, guys. I'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Love you all. Bye.